When you slow down and observe your own thoughts, something subtle yet profound begins to happen. The noise in your mind that once seemed to define you starts to reveal itself as only movement, a flowing current of energy, not your true being. Thought is not who you are. It's a process happening within you, a pattern shaped by experience, memory, and reaction. And when you truly understand this, you begin the path of transcending, transmuting, and transforming thought, not by force, but by natural awareness. Every day we wake up into a sea of thoughts. They arrive before we even speak or move. Some feel bright and expansive, others heavy and repetitive. Most people live their lives trying to control, suppress, or fight their thoughts, not realizing that the very act of fighting keeps the energy alive. The natural way to understand thought is not through resistance, but through recognition. By simply seeing thought as thought, its power to disturb begins to dissolve. Imagine your thoughts as clouds passing through the open sky of your awareness. The sky never tries to stop the clouds. It simply allows them to come and go. This is the first stage of transcending thought, witnessing it. When you learn to observe thoughts without judgment or attachment, you create a distance between what is seen and the one who sees. That distance is freedom. You realize that the thinker and the thought are not the same. You are the awareness in which both appear. To transcend a thought means to rise above its emotional gravity, not by running away, but by feeling it fully without identifying with it. You begin to see the subtle energy behind every thought, how a single memory can trigger a wave of sensations in your body, how a word can awaken an emotion from years ago. Thought is energy clothed in meaning, and every energy, when felt without resistance, begins to transmute naturally. Transmutation is the sacred alchemy of the mind. It's the process of turning lower, dense thought energies, fear, doubt, anger, jealousy, into clarity, compassion, and wisdom. But this transformation doesn't happen through forced positivity or denial. It happens when awareness meets thought completely. Awareness is like sunlight. It purifies what it touches. When you allow yourself to feel a thought instead of believing it, you invite transformation. The energy that was once trapped in mental patterns is freed and redirected into higher frequencies of understanding. When a painful thought arises, you can notice it softly. There is sadness. Instead of saying, "I am sad," that single shift changes everything. You move from identification to observation. The energy begins to move again. You start to sense the natural intelligence behind emotion, that every feeling carries a message, a vibration that's asking to be understood and released. Nothing in your mind is truly against you. Even your darkest thoughts are fragments of energy trying to return to the light of your awareness. Transformation happens not when you manipulate thoughts, but when you let them evolve through consciousness. A thought that is seen clearly begins to lose its distortion. It melts back into pure energy, the same energy that gives rise to inspiration, creativity, and insight. You can feel this when you meditate, when you walk quietly, or even when you breathe deeply. Suddenly, a thought that once felt like pain turns into understanding. The energy of fear becomes courage. The energy of confusion becomes clarity. This is the inner alchemy, the natural transformation of thought. But to walk this path, patience and trust are needed. The mind has been conditioned for years to live in loops. Thoughts about thoughts, fears about fears. When you first begin observing, you may feel overwhelmed by how many layers there are. Don't rush. Remember that awareness itself is not in a hurry. Time belongs to thought, not to consciousness. Each time you notice a thought arise, pause for a moment. Feel your breath. Recognize the space in which the thought appears. That space, that stillness, is who you truly are. As you grow more silent inside, you start noticing the subtle rhythm of thought. You'll see that it comes in waves. Every wave that rises must also fall. This understanding changes your relationship with thinking. You no longer need to analyze everything. You no longer need to fix the mind. You begin to live from a place deeper than thought, a place of direct knowing, intuitive and peaceful. That's when true transformation becomes effortless. The natural way of understanding thought is rooted in feeling. Thought is not just a string of words, it's vibration. When you feel your thoughts, not react, not interpret, but simply feel, you move beyond the mind's surface. You enter the intelligence of the heart. The heart doesn't reject thought. It integrates it. The heart is the ultimate transmuter. It knows how to take pain and turn it into compassion, confusion into clarity, loss into love. The more open your heart, the faster thought transforms into insight. To transcend thought is to stop fearing it. To transmute thought is to feel it. And to transform thought is to free it. Every thought is an opportunity to awaken. If you see anger, feel it without labeling. If you sense fear, hold it in awareness. If joy arises, experience it fully without clinging. This is how consciousness evolves naturally. Thought becomes a teacher instead of a tyrant. Think of your mind as a river. When you resist the current, you create turbulence. When you flow with it, the river carries you into clarity. Thoughts are not enemies. They are messengers bringing you back to yourself. Even the most chaotic thoughts point to what has been suppressed or unloved within. Once you stop judging, you begin to see their deeper message. Every thought wants to return home. Home to the silence that you are. In moments of deep stillness, you will notice that thought itself is made of the same essence as awareness, only moving at a faster vibration. The mind and consciousness are not separate. They are two expressions of the same source. Thought is consciousness in motion. Awareness is consciousness at rest. When you see this clearly, the separation between thinker and thought collapses. You realize there has never been a fight to win, only energy to understand. And then, a beautiful simplicity dawns. You no longer try to transcend or transmute anything. You just see. You just feel. In that effortless seeing, transformation happens on its own. Life begins to flow through you more naturally. Words come from silence. Actions come from intuition. You no longer seek to control the mind because you have discovered something deeper, the intelligence that gives rise to both thought and stillness. This natural understanding of thought changes how you live. You become more present in conversation, more compassionate with others, more creative in expression. Because you are no longer lost in thinking, you are aware of it. Awareness brings spaciousness, and spaciousness brings peace. From that peace, love flows effortlessly. You begin to realize that the same awareness observing your thoughts is observing the entire universe. It is one field, one consciousness expressing itself through countless forms. When you truly understand thought, you see that nothing is personal. Thoughts arise, but they don't belong to you. They belong to the collective field of human consciousness. You simply experience certain patterns more vividly because they match your energetic frequency. By observing without judgment, you help purify not only your own mind, but the collective mind of humanity. Awareness itself becomes a healing force. And so, transcendence, transmutation, and transformation of thought are not steps you must perform. They are natural expressions of awakening. When awareness grows, thought naturally refines. When you stop clinging, energy begins to move freely. When you feel deeply, you become whole. The journey of thought is the journey of consciousness discovering itself, from unconscious reaction to conscious creation. And it all begins with one gentle act, observing without fear. The more you watch the mind, the more transparent it becomes. The more you feel, the more light enters. Eventually, even the most turbulent thought dissolves into silence, leaving behind only clarity and love. So, as you move through your day, don't try to silence your thoughts. Welcome them. Feel them. See them. And remember, thoughts are waves in the vast ocean of your being. You are not the waves. You are the ocean itself.